All right, let's just dive right into the passage here. In 2018, Kurt Luther and Vikram Mohanty created the web-based tool Civil War Photo Sleuth. A user uploading an unknown Civil War soldier's photograph to CWPS first tags the photo with all known information. CWPS's facial recognition software analyzes 27 different physical features and looks for matches to tagged images already in the database. So just going right to the choices, I don't necessarily have a clear feeling, but when I see the choices, then feels right to me, right? I mean, it's kind of like first the user uploads, then they get recognized, I guess, right? A user uploading an unknowable server first, even the word first is there, first tags the photo with all known information, then it gets analyzed. So this is a clear instance where the word then is just used in its most traditional way of showing time passing. First you do this, then you do this, finally you do something else, right? Like it's a step in a process. In fact, would be kind of like indeed, it's adding emphasis, but we're not emphasizing the first sentence. We're following up, there's something else going on, so that doesn't make sense. Likewise is a very fancy transition that just means similarly, but it's one that a lot of people pick because it sounds fancy, but it has a very specific meaning and it's almost never right on the SAT. Unless we're making a comparison of some kind, we wouldn't use it. This isn't a comparison. Again, it's a step in a process. And it's not an example either because, and I think that's the trick that most people will pick if they get this wrong, is for example would be saying that we would have the second sentence is going to be an example of tagging the photo with all known information. It's not that. It's an example of what happens after we tag it, right? So it's not an example of the first sentence, and that's the only time we can use, for example, as a transition word. We are coming up with a new thing. So the second step in a process should start with then. It's not an example of the first thing. So hopefully that makes sense. To me, this is pretty easy, but it does go to show that sometimes the right answers to these transition questions is not going to be something from our main categories of, for example, but, so, and that's okay because something in the sentence will strongly indicate that something else is going on. So just be flexible and adjust, and if you pick a weird one, so it goes. That's fine.